Broadcasting from Charlotte, North Carolina, the Queen City, this is On the Air with Deplorable Pride. Tune in at ontheairwithdeplorablepride.org every Wednesday, a conservative LGBT talk show. We are your voice. Here's your host, Brian Talbert and Chris O'Shea.
Welcome back to episode number 4 of On the Air with Deplorable Pride. Today is September 5th, 2018. I'm Chris O'Shea with Carolinas for Trump, here with Brian Talbert.
Hey, how are you doing?
What's going on, man? How are you?
Just got out of court.
So I guess we'll start things off because today was sort of a significant day as far as our fight with ANTIFA and your fight specifically. Do you want to just give a 5-second rundown of what happened, where we're at?
This is the court date regarding the May 12th incident, Mother's Day weekend, when Antifa pepper sprayed me and I was arrested for assault on a female. And so today was the actual first court date, and she didn't show. It continued to on November the 7th, and she has to be there then. The cop didn't show either. So I kind of feel like the cop situation was a good sign, but her, not sure what her reasoning was, but if she doesn't show on the 7th, then it's dismissed.
So this is just one of the 2 different Antifa situations that you're having to deal with. They're really just, I think, trying to be a pain in your ass. It's not that they're actually trying to get any charges to stick. It's more just to keep you having to go back to court and
inconvenience.
And
because like with her, I don't think she's going to have any intentions of coming to, on the 7th. She said that the DA said today that she wrote down the date for tomorrow by accident. As many court dates as she's had in her life at 23 years old, I'm pretty sure she's aware of how to get there at the court on time. So this was a lie. I think she's just trying to, like you said, inconvenience it for me.
But I guess it is what it is. As long as you don't end up, as long as you don't end up behind bars, I'll consider it a win.
I didn't have to walk under the street, under the tunnel, to the jail cell. So do
they really have a tunnel under the street there?
Yeah, that's how they bring people from the jail to the courtrooms.
That would make sense.
They don't have to put them out and mix them in with the public. Never been down that tunnel, but hopefully this is going to be taken care of on the 7th. It'll be dismissed. We did talk with the actual cop today. He come up to me in the hallway, the actual cop that arrested me, and he said he still had my property, that I left my flag that day after being arrested, and he had been holding it in his office for me. So I kind of took that as a good sign. I just assumed that the property was already gone because they said 30 days, then it would be destroyed or whatever. So I never went to go get it. So
I'm suspecting that the cops are on your side here. They're
a lot of them that day when you took my glamour shot in the back of the police car.
They were cool about that.
Yeah, they sit there and talk to me, make sure I said, am I cool enough and everything, and they didn't want to arrest me that day. I could definitely tell that.
Well, so that's, I guess we'll continue that one next month, the day after the election. It's been a busy week since we did our last episode. The big news was probably the president's visit to Charlotte. And this was your first time actually seeing the president and getting that close.
Got to see the president, got to see the beast. Is that what they call it?
Yeah, the Beast, the big Cadillac limousines.
It was. You've got to see it in person to be able to see the enormity of it. It's like huge.
I'm pretty sure that they build it on the Escalade. It's basically
it looks like
a DeVille, but it's built on the Escalade frame. Basically,
yeah, it looks like that.
Of course, it's bulletproof, so the walls are super thick and.
It was hard to make it out a little bit, but you could definitely see the outline of Trump, and you could see his hand was close enough to the window that you could see the white cuff, his cuff, and he was waving, and we got to see him going in, and that was the best shot. And coming back, we got to see him waving at us again, but they were hauling ass going when they were leaving out of there. But that was an amazing experience, and that's got me in the mood. I've got to get to where I can hear him and watch, stand before him and listen to him speak.
I still can't believe that you, of all people, have not been to a Trump rally yet.
Never been to a Trump rally.
We'll have to fix that next time he's in the area. We'll drive over wherever it is and stand in line all day. And
I definitely have to be up at the front. If it requires overnight sleeping in the parking lot, I'm up for it. So hopefully we'll get our chance for 2020 coming up.
Definitely. Now, what we did for anyone who's not in the Charlotte area and who was not lucky enough to be there with us, we kind of figured out where the motorcade was going to be traveling, and we set up a roadside rally along that route. And we did have to change kind of as the situation unfolded, because they keep the details about where they're going and which way they're going to go. They keep that all secret, so no one knows. But based on, we knew where he was coming from, and we knew where he was going to, and we studied the maps and kind of figured out like the most likely way that they were going to go. And we were close. Mm-hmm. We had to move just to the end of that street and around the corner to get a good spot in front of the Char 7 bar if you're in Charlotte at 6300 Carmel Road.
They were big supporters of us as far as like letting us change the TV to watch the updates and stuff in a sports bar. That was big here in Charlotte.
Yeah, because we were out there 10 o'clock in the morning. I think we got there, started getting set up, and we rallied until probably 2 o'clock when we moved our location to where we knew that they were going to actually be, based on information that we gathered and the location of the police cars that were setting up. And it was about 4 o'clock when the motorcade actually rolled through. So we were out there for a good 6 hours, just rallying like we normally do. We got a tremendous response, of course. And in total, the Carolinas for Trump and Deplorable Pride group added up to probably 30 or 40 people in front of this bar. And we figured while we were waiting, we needed a place to cool off because we'd been out in the sun all day. So Brian and I went inside, grabbed a beer, had a little snack, and were able to watch the president as he got off Air Force One and went to the CPCC, the community college, where he was signing that bill for the small business 401ks. And then we knew, based on that, about when they would be expecting to come through. We got soaked because the skies opened up like a half an hour before it rained, before they came through. So
it was like hot all day long until right before he came, and then it just poured down. Some of our signs started running and everything, but they held up pretty well in the rain. It was all worth it. It was definitely worth standing out in the rain to see the president.
What was the most rewarding part about that experience for you?
Being able to see the president for definite, for one, but just it was like an inner thing for me that I'm out. There was nothing to stand out there in the rain and the hot, the sun, just to be able to see my leader. Yeah. And like the girl, I can't.
There was an African American woman who came over while we were setting up at the new location.
The little girl's name started with A, and I can't remember. But anyway, just to look in her eyes whenever she saw the president come by, and she was holding up her iPad and recording that, and I looked at her and I was like, hey, "This is an experience you're going to be." It was like I could see that she was going something that she could take with her for the rest of her life, and it was amazing seeing that in the eyes of a child.
Well, the backstory of what happened was we were setting up in front of this bar. This is our second. We had to move locations, and this black woman comes over to us, and you could tell she was just kind of curious. And we got to talking to her, and she was a Trump supporter.
She voted for him.
She voted for him, but you could tell she was very hesitant, like she didn't know what to expect. And she actually said that this was the first opportunity she had to actually meet other Trump supporters.
I found that shocking, but here in Charlotte, that's really not odd.
It's still a bit taboo, especially in a minority
I'm sure for
community.
an African-American woman, this is something that I can understand that they would keep quiet about, from being shunned in their own community and stuff for being a Trump supporter. But for her to say that just the first time she's ever hung out or met like Trump supporters, I was really shocked. But I mean,
She went and got her. She picked up her daughter from school, and then came. The two of them came back after the motorcade went past the first time.
You can see them in our video that we have,
and they hung around because we told them, hey, they're going to be coming back in a little bit. Hang out, it's worth it. And we kind of pressured them because they were, oh well, do we go to the grocery store?
Them to know
or
that
whatever.
they feel welcome. Come
and we got them to stay, and they held the Trump flag, and the daughter was recording on her iPad, and I agree with you, Brian. To me, that was one of the most rewarding parts of that because, me and Michelle and Josh and a lot of the people that were there, we've been to the rallies. I mean, we've been up close and personal with Donald Trump. So seeing him through the limousine wasn't like it wasn't a new experience for us, but seeing the look in someone's eye when they experience something of that magnitude for the first time was such a cool experience.
And this little girl will be able to tell her children this one day. And it's like, it was special to be a part of that, experience that with them. And then, as there was one more rewarding part. I want to say about this roadside rally. This was the most diverse, largest rally I've been a part of. And we've had male, female, we had Black, white, Latino, Asian. We had Democrat, Republican, Libertarian, old, young, gay, straight. It was women, men. It was a mix of everybody, and it showed why Donald Trump was elected president. For us to come out there that committed, minorities, a little bit of everything. People that say are the Republican Party's against these types of people and everything, myself included. We showed a different side of that out there, and it was good that the president got to drive by and see that mix of America out there, and he got to see that. So I'm glad he got to see that vision of Charlotte instead of the protesters.
Especially whereas there were all the protesters at the entrance to the country club where he was attending a fundraiser. I thought it was nice that we were able to be just a half a mile up the road from that, so he could see 30 or 40 of his most loyal supporters standing out there in the pouring rain waiting for him.
They draw in 3 snowflakes, or 3 people that were against us. We had, the lady in the car. She had a meltdown.
And this is a lady that she pulled into the parking lot where all the Trump supporters were, setting up, and there was actually a shuttle van. I guess we can give a little shout out to the Silver Fox Limousine Company in Charlotte.
Silver Fox, that's right.
They were really cool. A couple of the drivers came over and hung out with us, and I guess they're pro-Trump, or at least friendly to Trump as a business, and individually they were Trump supporters. So they were really cool. Yeah. But so it's all these Trump supporters setting up over here, and the protesters are half a mile down the road at the entrance to the country club, and this one lady pulls in, and she rolled her window down and started antagonizing some of us. I didn't see the whole thing, but
disgusting for supporting the president. I mean, just cracking her window maybe 2 inches and just reaching up to the crack in the window saying, "You're disgusting." And I was like, well, this lady she's a little crazy. So I pulled out my phone that like I was recording her. I wasn't actually, I wasn't going to waste my battery.
You're just teasing her.
Yeah, a little bit of that, and plus I wasn't going to waste my battery. But I wanted to make her think that I was, because she was acting a little loony. I was like, why is she acting this crazy? And I went around to the back, right where after like I was going to take a picture of her tag, and that sent her over the edge. And she comes, she just starts saying, "Did you take a picture of my tag?" Screaming at me and everything. And she's like, "I'm going to have you arrested." And she gets out of that car. She storms up to the cops. We got a video that you can see this on Deplorable Pride's Carolyn's for Trump page. Stormed up there, demanding that I be arrested for taking a picture of her car, and the cop just looked at her and he's like, "Well, why did you pull over there?" He did nothing wrong to arrest.
He knew she was crazy.
Yeah,
I think.
And then we had 2 other ones that apparently knew me. So I don't know how I know them, but I have seen that one in the beard, and they were the typical F Trump guys. 2 of them screaming F Trump, and then they asked if we still supported the Proud Boys, and so they know our history or whatever. So I was like, when they started screaming F Trump and everything, and F me, and the cop walked over there and said if he heard them cuss one more time, they were going to jail. So they weren't able to, do their favorite chant. So they had no interest in being out there. I mean, they didn't put anything together. They had a piece of paper with. They wrote it with ballpoint pen.
Yeah, the blue ballpoint pen.
I was a foot away from them and still could not understand what it was. But we confronted them because they actually destroyed one of our signs, telling us they ripped one of them down and said it was against the law to have political signs that close to the road or after an event or something. I was like, the event's not over. The president's still coming back this way. And second, that's not a political sign. That's personal property. I think it was with the president getting ready to come by and everything. There wasn't going to be some big. The cops weren't going to arrest somebody for destruction of personal property at that personal moment. You know what I mean? So they sent them on their way. They actually left once they realized they couldn't, chant their thing. But other than that, that was the only two incidents that we had.
But it was a really good time. A lot of people. It was just a memory that they'll have forever, especially that young girl.
Yes.
I think that, like you said, the look in her eyes, but she was just, starstruck. She was.
Watch the video on the page. You can see as soon as the president goes by, she turns around. Her smile is just huge. I mean, it was like,
yeah.
I wish I could experience something like that again. As a young child.
And I thought it was cool, Brian, that you were willing to actually give them that Trump flag that the mother held as the president. I wanted them
to have a souvenir to remember things.
And I'm sure that's the sort of thing that they'll keep forever. Yeah. And that's maybe even get passed down to future generations. So a small investment like that makes a big difference. And
I had a great time, a great experience. And her coming in off the street like that, not being a part of it at first, but just coming and seeing us and coming in off the street and talking to us and stuff. Excuse me. That happens. I've noticed that happen at every single one of our rallies. So people are waking up. They're not having that fear inside them again. That whatever's caused them not to be out as a Trump supporter since the election till now, something is waking up inside people and saying that I have a right to be proud. I have a right to come out here and show that I'm happy for my president and my country. And we're seeing that. We're seeing it every single rally. That's why I have really doubt about any blue wave coming.
Well, speaking of the roadside rallies, the very next day, so this was on a Friday. This was last Friday that the president came to Charlotte. Saturday, we had our first roadside rally up in Cabarrus County in Concord, which is home of Charlotte Motor Speedway. And one of our supporters had recommended a location. And we set something up. We had no idea what we were going to really run into up there, since this was our first time going up that part of the area. And the Bikers for Trump joined us. We had about a dozen bikers or so came over and on their bikes and hung out with us for a couple hours. And it was a really good experience to see so much support, because in Charlotte it's a liberal city, so there's kind of a mix. But up in Concord, it was. I almost don't see the point in doing rallies in that area, because we've already won. Yeah, that's Trump country. So it was a morale booster for us to
get ready to go to deal with these not so friendly areas. But the people come by, it made people feel good. People were blowing their horns. People were hollering out the window. There's one guy, I thought he was going to climb out of the side of his car, just give me a thumbs up. We had a honk if you want Hillary Clinton in handcuffs, and that was a big response. And honk if you want, if you like Trump. That was a big one. It was like a constant blowing of horns during this intersection.
A four-way intersection, a busy intersection. So it was a good experience.
Yeah.
And
it was hot. It was hot.
We had people pulling over asking if we were selling merchandise or where to get a bumper sticker. I've got to put that one in the mail for that lady that gave me your address. And Jay, the guy who suggested this location, had an interesting encounter with a motorist who pulled up and actually gave him a MAGA hat.
Yeah. I didn't know what was getting ready to go on. The lady was rolled down her window, and her dog was going to have one of these little dogs, and this dog was going just insane. And I thought she was like cussing Jay and everything. And he comes out, it sticks his hand in, comes out with a hat. I was like, what did he do? I didn't know what was going on. The lady gave him a MAGA hat. It was so ironic. Jay had said earlier that he had looked on Facebook or something, and you could get a free MAGA hat. All you had to do was pay the shipping and handling. He was like, it'd been a while, and he was like, oh, wonder if I got ripped off or whatever. Wonder if I am going to get that hat. And I said, I don't know. I said, and then right after that, like 20 minutes after that, someone pulls up and hands him a MAGA hat out of the window. It was just so funny. It was so funny to watch. That was a great day. I had a good time. And definitely glad to see Bikers for Trump come out. And we had the Cabarrus Republican Party came out, and we had Carolines for Trump and Deplorable Pride. So we had
some of our Charlotte crew, the usual suspects came by.
Michelle Reese.
Michelle and
she came
Vilma and Josh wasn't there, but anyway, next weekend, the weekend coming up here, Saturday, we've got a rally in another area where we've never done anything, and it's much further away than
It's also a lot more liberal too, so this will be a test.
And this is Winston-Salem, North Carolina,
right in front of the
Target on Haynes Mall Boulevard.
It's a pretty Winston-Salem's a pretty liberal city. Not like Charlotte on a much smaller scale. So it should prove to be interesting.
Yeah, basically the reason we're doing this is that a supporter emailed us, carolinasfortrump@gmail.com, said, hey, I'm interested in putting something together up here. I like what you guys do in Charlotte, but I want something in Winston-Salem. How do I get started? And I emailed back with kind of the basics of how we do these roadside rallies and what the point is, how to prepare for it, what the equipment that you need, how to put the flags on the little bamboo sticks that we get for doing these, because they're easy and convenient, they're perfect size, inexpensive, where to get the flags, how much to budget for the signs and the flags, and bringing a case of water for people that stop by. And she was a little bit concerned about not having a good turnout because she doesn't have a big network up there. So we offered to go up there and help get her started. We're going to bring our equipment. We're going to bring some of our supporters with us, and we're advertising it to try to get locals as well. And I had to reassure her, because you see where we're at, where we get 20 or 30 people at these events, and it seems like a daunting task, but this all started with 6 of us, five or six of us on the side of the road almost 2 years ago, almost to the day, back during the Trump campaign. And we had no idea what we were doing. We just showed up and did what we knew how to do, which was wave signs and flags and just cheer on Trump. And it snowballed, and that's the effect that we see each and every time we're out there, is that people see us. They want in on the action. They see us having fun. And they want to have fun too. They want to meet Trump supporters. They want to have a place where they can talk about what's going on, and they want to make a difference and get involved. And this is a very easy way to kind of dip your toe in the waters of political activism and campaigning. So we're going to do that with Winston-Salem. Yeah. I trust that we're going to get a good group of people together up there, that they can go out there and start to grow a group in Winston-Salem. Yeah. We had someone reach out from the Outer Banks, so out on the coast. And this is spreading across North Carolina, South Carolina, and I'm encouraging people, if you're listening to this and you're in Texas or Idaho or Illinois or wherever, and you want to start something like this, get in touch with us. Contact deplorablepride@gmail.com or carolinasfortrump@gmail.com. Find us on Facebook and let us know that you're interested. And if you need help with any part of this, I can't guarantee we're going to get on an airplane and fly out to you to help you with your first rally, but we'll walk you through it. We'll help you advertise it in your area. We'll tell you what to be on the lookout for, how to stay safe, what areas are good to do these events. And it's a good way to get involved. And this also ties in, the following weekend we're doing a roadside rally in Indian Trail, North Carolina, which is closer to Charlotte. And that's coinciding with the GOP's National Day of Action. Yes. So this is when they go out and they do their door knocking and phone banking and train volunteers on how to do this kind of stuff that they're doing where they're collecting data which is used for campaign efforts and to know where they need to focus their resources. And this is a great way to get people in the door and then funnel them into the door knocking, phone banking, voter registration, or volunteering in other ways.
It's going to be a big day.
So that's Saturday, September the 15th.
Not to forget to mention, we're going to do a breakfast before the Roadside Rally at the Americana Restaurant in Matthews is it on Independence?
Check out Carolinas for Trump or Deplorable Pride.
Yeah, there's an event.
The pages on Facebook. The information's there. We can get the exact address for you.
We're gonna have a meetup. We're gonna meet up at the restaurant, have a breakfast, and then we're gonna go do the Roadside Rally for a few hours, and then we're gonna go and since we already are in the 9th district, we're just gonna stay in Union County, and is that the type where we agree and go and?
Well, we can do it wherever. I mean, if people want to...
Well, we can be able to invest more time if we stay in Union County. And being that it's in the exact same congressional district as what Mecklenburg would be, I think it'd be best to invest more time instead of spending it driving.
I agree.
So that way, in the we're helping them, they're helping us. Like we had our meeting with...
We had a meeting last week with Matt Judge. He's the regional
Anderson.
Field coordinator, and Robert Andrews, who is the state director of the RNC here in North Carolina. And this was actually more to do with I won't say a grievance. It was an issue that we were running into where we were wanting to get the RNC, get the Republican Party involved in building a bridge and sort of mending the relationship between the LGBT community and the Republican Party. And this is obviously what started the whole Deplorable Pride thing. This is where Brian, really entered the scene. These were the first people that were willing to sit down with us, and we weren't sure last.
Well, we had a lot of
podcast.
people at the beginning when we first got banned and everything. We had a lot of people in the beginning saying that they wanted to work things out, and as far as see what they could do about building a bridge with the LGBT community and everything. But nothing ever came from it, and I honestly got a little frustrated. I feel like I want to be recognized with the party that I'm also supporting. And I'm not just supporting the party. I'm out here actually doing above and beyond a little bit of what other people will commit to doing.
You're sticking your neck out there. You're getting pepper sprayed. You're getting assaulted by Antifa.
I see a problem in the gay community. It's like our gay pride protests. I mean, we see the Democrats there. They have taken over this. They've taken over it for 18 years. There is absolutely no GOP presence there at all. So there's only one voice that goes on at these type of events. And being a Republican myself, I'm tired of seeing that. I'm tired of not seeing my party there making an effort for my community. It's like they've had almost surrendered to the Democrats when it came to the LGBT vote. And speaking with Robert and Matt gave me hope, because I do believe that they both recognize the problem as well, and saw that there needs to be a presence there. I told him about
it's an opportunity. It's a problem and an opportunity. I think they recognize that, and that it is an opportunity. It's not necessarily a tremendous opportunity.
A lot of people give up on going to an event like that because they know that the large majority of LGBT people are Democrats.
The gay pride parade.
Yeah, so they're not going to go out there and register voters and stuff, because it'd be basically registering Democrats. But that's not the thing that you should be out there doing. You can be out there and you can hand out pamphlets, stuff. Give them an alternative of something to think about, because all they are pumped with at these events are what the Democrats want them to hear. I mean, our mayor was riding in a float. Our Democrat representative Alma Adams riding in a float. Democrat city council people marching in the parade. Democrats have got a hold on this, and I think it's a shame that the GOP is not getting involved with that. But speaking with Matt and Robert, they recognize the problem. Realize that something needs to be done about that. We're going to sit down and we're going to see what we solutions we can come up with. I honestly walked out of that with sincere faith that they were true to their word. I believe them. And it's very inspiring that for the first time, I've got my party on board with recognizing the first step was recognizing the lack of presence, and they did, and they want to win. They want to win this midterms. They want to win 2020, and we can't, especially in a city like Charlotte, we cannot throw away a very big voting block like the LGBT community here.
It was a good meeting. I think we made some progress. Obviously, right now our focus is on November 6th. We're coming up on 62 days or so until the election. Mm-hmm. So that's the primary and the only focus at this point is winning in November. But this meeting kind of set the groundwork. It laid a foundation for us to get together on November 7th, maybe after your court date. And we can start working out plans and working out the details about how to build that bridge and how to start reaching out and making an effort to reach communities that have been neglected for so long by the Republican Party.
I know the LGBT community. I want to be shown that we're going to be willing to go and put in the work for the GOP and the RNC as well.
Definitely.
It's like the president said, you have got to vote Republicans. You may not like everything, and it's just something I was experiencing. But the president said everyone has got to get out there, because if Democrats do get into office, his agenda is over. It will be over with for 2 years if they do take control of the House and the Senate, and the taxes are going to go back up. The tax cuts are going to be gone. There's going to be no border security. The lunatics are going to be running this insane asylum, and the president is going to have absolutely no power. He could throw executive orders and stuff, but then it's all going to be in court, and then it's just going to be a cluster, all the way to 2020. But we've got to get out there. The president says we've got to get out there and vote Republicans into office so we can continue this MAGA agenda. We need a majority to where we do not have to even cater one bit to the Democrats. We can just go up in there after January and just whatever our agenda is and get it done. Have no input. Democrats can sit there and twiddle their thumbs, but we got to get off our ass and get out there and vote on November, or that's not going to happen. I mean, we're already facing an uphill battle anyway, because historically, the party in power loses seats. I mean, that happens regardless of what power party is in power. But I honestly believe we have a chance to change that. I'm more optimistic about the 2018 election. I had to keep a lot of people thinking positive when 2016, because it was, I even thought I was like, you're blowing smoke up people's ass. I was like, you couldn't deny the polls. The polls were there. Donald Trump wasn't going to win. That was exactly how it was. And I was like giving people some pep talk. Hey, come on. There's no way that bitch is going to make it. Grace of God happened, and Donald Trump was elected. But we've got to do this. We've got him in the office, and we've got to give him a pathway to get that MAGA agenda.
And that's going to include reaching out to minority communities that have been neglected by the Republican Party in the past. And I think that we have a lot of opportunity to be part of that change and make that difference. So
we got it. We got his record now to run on. He didn't have a record in 2016.
And
Black unemployment, Latino unemployment, Asian unemployment, lowest levels in U.S. history. Women unemployment, lowest in 76 years. Consumer confidence, 18% year high. Stock market, it's just magapill.com. Have you ever been to it? That's a really good reference to all his accomplishments and everything.
Yeah.
I would highly recommend that site.
Well, going forward, I guess the one other thing we should mention in this in this segment right now is that
Brandon Straka, we were going to have him as a guest this
exactly.
This podcast, but there was he was not able to make it for this one, so he's wanting to reschedule it, and we're going to do it. We've got a guest for next week, Michelle Nix. She's the vice chairperson of the North Carolina GOP, and she's get her on. She's going to be our guest next week, but we're going to try to schedule Brandon the following week. So hopefully we'll have him then. And but we apologize for everyone. I told a lot of people that we were going to have him on, so that was, but he's wanting to reschedule and everything, so we'll have him on in 2 weeks.
That'll be good. And
definitely check us out for Michelle Nix. She's been a supporter of Deplorable Pride from day one.
I'm excited to talk to her.
I am too. She's a funny lady. She puts a smile in politics whenever it's it's hard to do that when you just want to just like hit somebody with a computer and say you're that ignorant, But Michelle keeps it fun, and she's vice chair. I think she's the first woman to hold that position in North Carolina. So that's a great accomplishment. The South, Republican Party in South, woman rising that far in the state level. And I see a lot of high hopes for her. I see big dreams for her that's going to come. But she's definitely going to be a guest. I'm looking forward to talking with her.
Awesome. And if you guys have any suggestions or ideas, if you know someone that would be a good guest for the show, send us a recommendation, leave a comment. You can contact us on Facebook, send an email to contactdeplorablepride@gmail.com, and let us know who you think you would like to hear on this podcast. And
send us a liberal want to argue. It don't matter. They don't have to be. We don't need just Trump supporters.
Yeah, no, I think it'd be healthy to have some.
I love to argue. They know.
So. Well. Yeah, anyone that's watched any of the interactions with Antifa or unhinged Democrat protesters, when Brian gets in on the mix, they know that.
We're not going to be debating Antifa on here because I'm not going to let me call a Nazi over the phone. I mean, that's going to have to be an in-person kind of thing.
I wonder if we can do a podcast, the mediation session that you've got coming up with the former leader of Antifa. That would be an interesting one.
Yeah, that he's actually going to be in there lying that he's not in Antifa still.
Well, that's if he shows up there. Yeah. They're developing a record of not showing.
And depending on who he's going to be that day, since all his fake profiles.
We'll fill you guys in.
I think they're trying to slowly drive me crazy, but I was already crazy. I've been crazy for a while, so I have practice, so I'm ready for them.
Bring it on!
Bring it on!
Well, all right. Are we missing anything, Brian? You think we covered it all?
I think that's it.
Well, thank you guys for tuning in. This is, again, it's our 4th episode. We're still kind of figuring things out and working out the kinks. So bear with us. We appreciate your listening. We appreciate your comments, your feedback, your support. If you want to make a donation, if you like what you see, what we're doing with the activism here on the ground in Charlotte and trying to mobilize people in other areas as well with the roadside rallies, check out deplorablepride.org. There's a link where you can donate at the top. Every little donation helps out. It all adds up. It doesn't need to be a lot.
Yeah, these roadside rallies and stuff, a lot of people we have a lot of following from around the country, and we have a lot of people want to say that they're in spirit. They're just, there's no way they're going to get from California to North Carolina for like 3 hours, for a roadside rally. So they want to help some way, but they don't know how to reach out. So that's a perfect way. That helps us by like poster boards for our signs. Helps us replace flags because we're like, somebody wants a flag, we're going to give them a flag. But that's our supplies.
It's about a $5 or $6 contribution.
Then we get,
if you look at it that
we get
way,
water for the people that come and do it. Tons of gas going all over the place, but at $1, $5, $10, that really will help us. I mean, that's something that will go to a good cause for our supplies and stuff. So
not just that, it'll help us expand, so we can grow beyond just this area.
That's a way people can help when they can't be with us and they want to do something. And
I'll make this offer for any of our special podcast listeners. If you make a donation of $10 or more through deplorablepride.org, include your address in the information, and we'll go ahead and we'll send you out a Trump 2020 bumper sticker. So any donation of $10 or more through deplorablepride.org will get a free Trump 2020 bumper sticker. And we're going to do that as an exclusive for our podcast listeners right now, and take advantage while supplies last. So we appreciate you, and that's just an easy way for us to not only show you that we appreciate your contribution, but also to get you involved in promoting Trump for 2020. So once again, after November 6th, it's going to be all hands on deck, full speed
it's
ahead.
It's going to be exciting here in Charlotte because it's all going to be taking place here in Charlotte.
2020 RNC.
Yeah, that's going to be an experience there. I hope I survive.
Yeah, well,
that's going to be fun here.
That will be interesting. I know Antifa's already planning that as well.
Yeah, Antifa's got their event already scheduled for. They don't know the dates yet, so they've already said that don't know the dates anytime from June to September. But they're going to fight the RNC in Charlotte. Fight the RNC. So
that's all they know how to do is fight.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, thanks for tuning in. Check us out next week, next Wednesday, on the air with deplorablepride.org. You can find us on Spreaker, YouTube, find us on Facebook. My page is carolinasfortrump.us. Brian is
deplorablepride.org.
Deplorablepride.org. And if you want to reach out with any comments, feedback, suggestions, we do appreciate it. Thank you once again for tuning in. Share this with a friend. If you know someone that would be interested, share this with them. And help us get this thing off the ground. And once again, provide feedback. Let us know how we can do better. And that's about it for this week.
Free the weed.
Free the weed. Thanks, Brian.
All right.